Welcome back to the Sort of Truth podcast, the alcohol-fueled, chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth podcast with a splash of craft cocktails on the side. I'm Jade.
I feel very calmed and very soothed right now. That was very nice. If you people listening in earbuds know what I'm talking about. You're like, ooh, oh, I like this place I found myself in.
It's nice and cozy. Is that
It is.
Good.
I am quite content right now.
Nice.
I am Nate, by the way, and today we are going to be running blind through Chapter 10 of Temple of the Winds. Yeah. I almost said Chapter 10 of Sword of Truth, and then I went, wait.
Not quite.
Nope.
But we made it. That's because we were going off book here. There's no script for that part.
Nope.
But we made
All
it.
us.
We made it through. That was on the first take, too.
First
Fuck
take?
Yeah.
That's why it has that good natural feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was no editing.
Exactly.
Look for it. I dare you. No.
Except there actually wasn't that time.
No, actually, first shot.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, we got this.
All right. Anyways, moving on.
Before we get started, we had a couple of notes here. First, I want to say I hope that everybody had a happy fucking Pride Month.
Woo!
Yeah. Hell yeah. We've been seeing a lot about it, and we did want to say something. Sorry we're late, but you know what? Don't care. I wanted to say it, and I am glad that I said it. Fuck yeah. I've been seeing all the rainbow flags everywhere. It's awesome.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just been kind of a whirlwind. We got back from Scotland. I think I felt comfortable for a couple weeks, and then now all of a sudden here, like a month later, I'm like, shit's happening. I don't know. I'm losing my grip a little bit. I gotta resettle.
Yeah, it's just been a rough couple of weeks, and I know that's just us being like, a little bit, but yeah, we didn't want to leave it unsaid. That wouldn't have been cool either.
No,
and
no, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's important that we did that, I feel like.
Feel good about it. There you go.
Yeah. Second, thank you guys. Now that we've given love, now I want to say thank you guys for all the anniversary love that we got on Facebook and emails and stuff. You guys are really fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jade and I have been married for a blissful 14 years.
That sounded sarcastic.
It was not. Like I said, I'm perfectly content here.
Good.
Just do the voice again.
I don't remember what voice it was.
It was close to that.
Like nice and low and cozy.
Yeah, just, like by a warm campfire.
Like I'm wearing my sweater. Yeah.
Like we're in the library, you have the sweater, there is a fire going, and a strong dark beer on the table.
Yeah.
And we're reading.
Except it's a craft
Sounds
brew
great.
tonight.
It is, it's a craft cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
Cocktail, because we're fancy.
That's what I meant.
I honestly, I didn't realize that like a rum and coke was considered a cocktail until very much later in my, let's call it drinking career. And I was like, oh wow, really? Oh, I feel adult now.
I've been fancy for a long time.
It's been a pirate drink forever for me. But all right, with all of that love out of the way, now it is time for us to dive deep.
Ooh.
If you would, mayhaps, make a splash.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Into Chapter 10.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's. Sorry. All that was cheesy. I'm just like, So I just took 2 really big pulls off of this craft cocktail, and now my cheeks are flush, so I know it's working. All right. Well, Chapter 10 begins. Chimes. Smoke. Atmosphere of a general nature. Beyond Jigang's blasts, the halls are pitch black and silent. He could be anywhere. He's creepy, hiding around the corners in the shadows like a haunted house.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
No, I'm not a fan.
Very creepy, very tense.
Yeah.
He puts that's first in the chapter.
Yeah.
He could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Hiding, just out of sight.
I'm sure you're aware I'm not a fan.
No, I know you're not a fan.
No.
That's why I went first in the haunted house. She just pushed me into the great beyond. Like, I don't know what there is, but he's dealing with it first.
And then nearly broke your hand, and that's fine.
So Nadine refuses to stay behind again. So Kahlan makes her basically do the equivalent of holding the flashlight for Dad. Like, here, you know what? I got important stuff to do. And while the adults are working, you can have the lantern. How about that? Or the torch. She has a torch. I had a flashlight. But the tone was the same.
Yeah. And I mean, part of me is like, okay, at this point, she is being used as an, like, expendable, like, all right, hold the fucking flashlight. Cool. Well, we're gonna keep fucking moving. But also, I'm just so irritated by Nadine being like, yeah, I'm gonna come with... You don't need to come with us. You are not helping.
Right.
I mean, I guess now she is, because she's holding a fucking torch, but...
And I helped.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, you're out of place. You are a guest in our house.
Yeah.
Why are you telling me where you're going?
Yeah, she's pushing back, telling Kahlan what she will and won't do. And Kahlan just like... what is it? Not Happy Gilmore. The other one that Adam Sandler does. Damn it, the school, Billy Madison.
Yeah.
When he just squeezes that kid's cheeks and he's speaking real intensely into his face. That's what Kahlan is doing to Nadine right now. She just squeezes her cheeks in and she's like, look, Nadine, I've had it to here. I can't take any more. This is the step before strangle. I hope you realize that. We're there.
Or confession.
I need you to just do what I ask you to do.
But she doesn't. And that's what's frustrating. Like, almost anybody else that Kahlan would deal with, like, they would. And Kahlan would not deal with insolence like this for most people. Like, the general public.
No, never. No.
Yeah.
And right now, Kahlan's goal is to kill Marlin. All she has to do is touch him. And anyone else touching him will be destroyed. But that's not going to stop her from doing it. And she's saying this to Nadine's face. Like, hey, these are the instructions. I'm giving them to you one time.
She specifically says she will not hesitate. Or, like, the book specifically says she will not hesitate.
Right.
Which is a callback to the Kara stuff
from
a couple chapters ago.
100%. Kahlan learned a lesson there.
Yeah.
There's a good time to just not hesitate.
Yeah. Especially now that Kara is screaming in the pit and we've made some bad choices. Mm-hmm. Now is not the time to hesitate.
Yeah, as far as we know, she's still back there. And now Marlin/Jagang is free and running around and people are dead and this is the worst case scenario and now it's happened. It's happened.
Yeah. It's not funny, but you did this bad. It's not good.
So she can't afford, like, it's already way out of control. She can't afford to, like, fuck it up again. You know what I mean?
No.
I hate saying that about Kahlan, and it's not all her, but, like, yeah.
No, but
Richard's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, everything was...
He's gonna be real mad.
Everything was handled. Everything was well underhand, and he was like, don't go down there together or alone, and they fucking did.
And then they immediately did.
Yeah.
Just like me as an 8-year-old boy. Don't touch the knife. Well, how sharp? Oh, that's sharp.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yep.
All right. So Kahlan's left arm is still hurt really, really bad, right? She was thrown.
Mm-hmm.
She has a wound. It is bleeding. She needs her right hand. This is what she's figuring, right? Left arm's hurt. Gotta have the right hand to confess Marlin.
Yeah. Yeah, you need at least one hand to do some shit with. Yeah, for sure.
Right there. So she's like, all right, this is why Nadine is coming with us. I can justify it in this way.
Yeah.
Because I damn sure don't want her here for personal reasons. But I guess if she's already here, she can hold the flashlight. Or the torch. Sorry. Flashback.
Well, on top of, like, just being able to justify it for, like, a why would I want her here, like, it's not safe for her to be here, but at least I can justify it in that I need her to hold the torch, I guess.
What am I going to tell people if she dies?
Fucking dies, yeah.
Well, I had a torch.
I needed her to hold the fucking torch.
We had to see Richard. I mean, running around there in the pitch black, you wouldn't have wanted that.
No. Mm-mm.
All right, I get it. She's got him. Well, immediately helpful. Of course, now that Nadine feels like she's on board, Nadine tells Kahlan to hold her wound closed to slow the blood loss and to save her strength. Kahlan reminds her not to get in the fucking way, and with the guards in tow, they all headed into the darkness.
Into the darkness.
I don't really know what sound that was, but it was fun to make. So as they walk through here, right, and they do have the torch. Right now, they have all the guards, so they have many, many torches. This will be important later when they don't. They find a spot of blood at an intersection, and the spot of blood is positioned just so to where it looks like Marlin is bleeding. By the way, it's got to be big because his arm is missing. It's not like he's got a cut.
Yeah.
The missing limb. He's bleeding a lot.
Yeah.
Big spot seems small to me.
Profusely Whoa, I can't fucking speak.
Wow, yeah.
Profusely bleeding. That's
alcohol
what I was trying to say. Yes.
Yes. Right. So big spot of blood. Puddle, some might say. But it makes it look like Marlin was going into the palace, back by where all the people are. Nadine is like, look, it's here. He obviously went that way. And Kahlan, right? Kahlan does not want to do that because she says it's a diversion. Marlin obviously ran here and dropped a whole bunch of blood here and then ran that way just to get us off his scent.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know Kahlan's right. I feel Kahlan is right. But at the same time, if I were missing an arm, of course, I'm not in Marlin's situation with some other person controlling my body anyways. But if I were a man missing a limb, the last thing I would think of is, squirt it over here and then go that way. That'll get him off the scent. I'd be like, my fucking arm is missing. And I would probably just run till I pass out somewhere. And that would be that.
Now, if it was Marlin, yeah.
Now, because it's Marlin and Ch.10 has control of the body, I can totally see this happening.
And we've already talked about the fact that Marlin was probably undergoing a lot of fucking pain before he even lost the arm. And so, like, the body was probably undergoing pain and not really...
But Ch.10 didn't have to feel that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He was just calm as can be.
Puppet mastering this shit. So, in that way, if it's Ch.10 still fucking running this little body, it would make sense. Especially because it doesn't say that's the only blood. There's just, like, it's a convenient spot of blood, like, in their eye line, I think. Like, it's smeared on the wall in the way that would suggest...
they were going this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where there's also probably a trail of blood, like, leading up to that spot. And maybe the guy, like, didn't have blood going the other way. But, like, it's just conveniently like, oh, look at me going this way.
Yeah.
And on the wall, I think, too.
But Kahlan is, like, convinced right away that it's a diversion.
Yeah. She's like,
Dexter.
seekering it. Oh, dextering it, yeah.
I just want to play the music now. It's so good. But yeah, she analyzes the blood spatter and determines that it doesn't go towards the palace. It goes the other way, right? Marlin wants to get into the keep. That means he's going to want to get the hell out of the palace, away from people. You know, he's probably going to hide out in the fucking mountains or something like that for a while, but that's the ultimate goal.
Well, and if you think about it, honestly, it makes more sense for the guy, even if he doesn't know how he's going to get out, to go down where there's not a lot of people, as opposed to going up through the palace when he's missing a fucking arm.
Yeah, best not to be noticed in that situation.
Yeah, it's going to raise alarm for sure. So I feel like, like logic just says he probably didn't go up into the palace because we would hear screams.
Oh, I feel like the Star Wars Family Guy episode where he's like, did you see a hand come by here? Okay. Well, all right. So here's the situation. Ch.10 / Marlin is running around underneath the palace, right? Above the pit level, but like sub-level. Basement.
Yeah.
It's like a maze. It's dark. It's gross. And he's down there, and they need to figure out where he is. So here's the plan. They're going to split up. Basically at every intersection. I don't know that they necessarily go in half.
No, I think a few guys split off at every
okay,
one.
yeah. So if you have just, say, 50 guys, each intersection, 5 guys go
Yeah.
a certain way, and then you know that you've covered everything until eventually at the end
There's only 2.
there's not that many there,
No, yeah.
which can be a problem. Did I say spoiler?
Huh.
Somebody should have. Anyways, so they're going to basically split up. Kahlan is going to take the right-hand option every time so that she can be followed, that everybody knows just turn right. All right.
Like the way that you're supposed to solve a maze.
Right. Keep your hand on one wall.
But it's the
That's
left
100%
wall,
right.
Usually.
I think it's the left wall. I think when we went to, that was in Mackinac, when we did the maze.
I think it was in the UP.
Oh, okay, the UP. But I think that time I used my left hand, but I'm pretty sure you can go left or right. You got to pick one and stick with it.
Oh, okay.
I think. I'll have to look that up. But so, okay, the group's going to get smaller as they go. That's not great.
No.
She tells them to come find her if they find him. And that if he gets to the keep, he can get through shields that she can't. And then they have to tell Richard.
Ugh.
Like, again. And it's not going to be great.
Just gotta say, this is gonna be super inconvenient if Kahlan isn't the one to find him. And I mean, just because, like, they're gonna have to, they find him, and then somebody has to go back through the maze, and then go back up all the right turns to find her ass.
Well, okay, and this is actually something I wanted to bring up a little bit later, right? So we can talk about it later. But I don't want to spoil too much now.
Okay,
let's circle back to the last people, the final group. When we bring that up,
Okay.
I want to talk about something because I feel like there was a huge oversight here, and it's not good.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Okay,
don't
okay.
disagree, yeah.
So Nadine asks incessant questions at this point. What is the keep? What is in the keep? Sounds awful, by the way. And Kahlan's like, hey, screw you. Like, I grew up. I grew up / learned a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time there in my childhood, and it was wonderful, by the way.
Yeah.
And then she asks where the wizards are. Of course, why did they kill themselves? And all of this, like, okay, in short, big old magic place, much older than the Confessors Palace that holds, like, magic stuff. Lots of magic stuff. The wizards killed themselves to give Kahlan enough time to get through the boundary to find the first wizard, who is actually Zed, by the way, where she ran into Richard, who then protected her against a quad sent to assassinate her. This is all stuff that we've covered, but it is good for the new reader, so it exists in the chapter.
I think for old readers, it feels like, how long into a series like this do we have to go pandering to the new reader? Because it just makes us, like, maybe they should have had a prologue where there was like, hey, if you haven't read the book, here's some information for you, or some bullshit. Because this just makes Nadine annoying as fuck, even though it's not meant to make her annoyed. Like, she's just asking questions. Right. But you're annoyed at her because you're like, shut the fuck up. We know this.
An efficient way to get the information into the reader's head, especially if it's a first-time reader. This is background knowledge that does help the story.
Yeah.
So I can't be upset that the information was, like, put there, But after you've read it, you hit these points and you're just like, oh, we're past this.
I'm just saying, if you picked up Harry Potter 4, you're probably going to be like, maybe I should have read Harry Potter 1 if I'm confused. Like...
And look, I'll say this too. Maybe it's just for people with bad memories like me, and it just helps them jog it. Because I'm like, right. I don't know, that was 3 books ago.
Yeah, let's be positive. Maybe it's for that, and it's totally fine. No big deal.
It's being helpful, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Nadine knew about the 4 huge men that were found dead at the bottom of Blunt Cliff, right? She didn't realize Richard had been the one that killed at least 2 of them to save Kahlan. Those were his first kills ever, too, by the way. And, like, so Kahlan's story wins, right? Nadine can just back the fuck off now, right?
Because her
Right?
her knowledge about Richard is bigger because he killed 2 men to save her.
Yeah. Oh, he punched a dude out for you? He straight up murdered 3 motherfuckers for me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can safely say that.
Just saying.
I also
Kahlan's story wins.
I also just think it's funny they found 4 bodies, and I don't know. That's the end of that story too. They're just like, oh yeah, those crazy dudes that we found at the bottom of the cliff were meant for you. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, what did you determine about the 4 guys who were found dead at the bottom of a cliff?
Yeah.
Did they all just slip and fall, or
I don't know.
in-depth investigation? So for the next, 15 minutes or so, they walk through the dark, wet, smelly, rat-infested hallway.
Aw, poor rats.
I know, right? They don't deserve that. They deserve much better. Fluffy things and things to chew on. But she thinks again about Kara. As far as we know, she is still just screaming in the pit. And every time it brings Kara up, it's just, it makes the whole situation so much worse. Like, yes, you have to deal with this guy. You have to kill this guy. Hopefully, when he's dead, maybe Kara will stop screaming. But really, I have no idea what to do about that.
See, and I think maybe at this point in my head, maybe she has more experience because she's been around magic longer, but I would probably have assumed she would have passed. Because just like normal people, after a certain amount of time, can't handle a certain amount of pain. You know what I mean? And this is obviously a severe amount of pain. Cause,
Oh, yeah.
Because Mort Sith don't scream for nothing. So, in my head, I would be like, she's probably passed out or dead, which would worry me even more.
Yeah, well, yeah.
At that point. But yeah.
It's not good to be unconscious, but you almost kind of wish it for her just so.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Ugh.
It's bad enough having to experience it. You just wish that she could kind of like pull a Richard, just separate your mind and pretend it's not happening, but that's not good for you either.
Like when they put you in a medical coma or some shit. To let you get through some stuff.
Yeah, just so you can survive without tearing yourself apart. Oh, that'd be so awful. Well, this has been fun. But now that I'm looking over at our counter here, it is time for the beer break.
Woo!
Perfectly positioned right next to a super sad thing.
Cocktail break.
Cocktail break. That's right. We're fancy. Pinkies out, bitches.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jade and I each have a different cocktail. These are from New Holland Spirits, craft cocktails. I have the rum punch with passion fruit, pineapple, orange, and coconut, and it is delicious. I am also a really big fan of rum, so that doesn't hurt. Oh yeah, and this one clocks in at 9%.
It does say, I did notice just a bit ago that you're supposed to pour these over ice, and we haven't for any of them. Rum punch, delicious, easy drinker. I have
Jade's being much more brave.
The Holland Mule. And now I have had a few mules. Like sometimes I have them regular. Most of the time I've had like a variant of it, like a tropical mule with like a pineapple flavor or some shit in it, which I think helps. So I don't know if this is what mules normally taste like, I guess, but it's very, very strong, like tart on the tongue, very sharp flavor.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that one.
The ginger.
I had it before. I'm not drinking it tonight. Yeah. Maybe it is that. There's something in there that just, I'm sorry. You know what? New Holland, I like all your spirits, and your beers. They're great.
It's the gin. I don't know.
But whatever is in this, missed. It just missed me entirely. And maybe it's just me, but I've had quite a few of the Moscow mules that I thought were great.
Yeah, and but also I feel like we've had a lot of the variant ones that had like the different flavors in there, so maybe it took the edge off of the gin or edge off of the ginger. So maybe it just hits our tongue different because yeah, this one is very sharp when you taste it.
And I tried that one over ice and it didn't help.
But I am going to drink it because it is also 9% and that's what we do here.
Alrighty. Well, we are going to be finishing these and we'll be back
right after this.
Oh, that was so good. And we are back. It's true. It's true. We are. Here we are. So, okay, sorry. Gotta change the mood. Dark, creepy, scary, slimy.
Ew.
As the way narrows, right, they see these horizontal streaks in slime on the wall. Gross. But that also means that somebody had just been this way. So now Kahlan is reasonably sure that she is on the right path. She's excited. She's terrified. I'm assuming she's cold, damp.
Moist?
Yeah, you could say moist. She is excited, so, you know. But yeah, so a whole range of emotions, knowing that she is most likely on the right path. They come to this drainage point, and there's only two ways to go. You can go downriver to the right, or you can go up, well, not really river, like downstream to the right, upstream to the left.
Drainage.
Right? Yeah, drainage. So Kahlan sends the soldiers that are with her and Nadine upstream to the left. And just her and Nadine go downstream to the right. Why? Alone. Again. God damn it. Like, why are they doing that?
We also could have taken, like, a soldier with Kahlan and left Nadine with a soldier, right?
Literally anybody.
Right?
This is when you yell into your book. Like, don't do that. You're doing it. Damn it.
Because of course, Kahlan's going to find the bad guy.
I was so frustrated. Like, don't go in there. The killer's in there. What are you doing? But they do it.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I can calm myself down just a bit now. So inside the drainage tunnel itself, this makes it even more fun. You're already going into the killer's lair. Hello, Clarice. Inside the drainage tunnel itself, the water is over waist deep. This water is not standing still. It is rushing water. It is a drain, and we're dealing with the spring melt from the mountains. A lot of water, a lot of cold water, moving pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's also very loud because you're in a tunnel. So it's hard to hear, but sound will travel.
Well, and we also know, though, like, there was a lot of, like, rats and slime and shit up tunnel, like, where we just were, so you don't know what's in this water.
Right. So, Puck stole a pen. He's like, this is mine now. What the fuck? You took my pen.
You're making noise.
So there's also a walkway that is underneath the water right now because it's kind of like swelled. And then he knocks her shit off the table. Fuck you, Mom. I'm sorry. He's so distracting. All right. So it is underneath the water, right? So they can't see what it is they're supposed to be stepping on. They only have one torch. It is dark and damp. So, like, don't want to touch the torch on anything because it could go out and then you're in pitch black. And that would just be awful.
Yeah.
But this walkway is separated. It's not all one stone. And it twists and it turns underneath the water. So they have to be fucking careful because if they, misstep, you're going to end up in the gross, I'm assuming, water.
This is absolutely dope. I'm just going to say that.
No, you don't like that?
No, not a fan.
I mean, okay. No, we have to get to the end. This was the thing, obviously, that upset me earlier. But then, if you've ever seen a movie like...
Yeah, it's like horror movie status.
Yeah, like any horror movie. I was thinking It, or like, what's the one where they're in the cave? It might even just be called The Cave.
The Descent, I think.
Yeah, when you could see all the creepy stuff.
Ew.
Real big things moving quickly through the water. Just like, what's in there? You don't know.
But also just the splitting up is like any horror movie ever where you're like, no, what?
Right.
Also, girl with the white t-shirt and no bra, you need to stay with the group because you're gonna run away, you're gonna die covered in water, and we know it.
All right, so not wanting to attract attention, Kahlan quietly instructs Nadine on where to step because, again, you don't want to end up in the water. They make it just a few moments, right? Just more descriptions about the slime and the cold and the echo. And then Nadine screams, of course. And it's terrifying because you don't know what happened. But when she slips, Kahlan yells, "Don't lose the torch." Holy shit, don't lose the torch.
I don't give a fuck about you, but you dare put the light out.
The one thing, that was Kahlan's true self coming through. Damn it, I brought you for one job. You can drown. I'm keeping that torch.
That's my light, bitch.
And also, so much for being quiet. You were trying to come in on a somewhat stealthy type approach because you are following somebody and didn't want them to know that you're right there. All that's out the window.
Oh, no. Yeah.
You know?
But you knew that was going to happen. Like, there's no way you're going into a fucking slippery ass, slime covered fucking tunnel with rushing water everywhere, walking on fucking stepping stones in the water. And you're gonna be quiet and sneak up on some motherfucker all sneaky? There's no fucking way. Especially
not happening.
Yeah, neither one of you is a goddamn ninja, and this bitch hasn't been any type of stealthy mission ever. So yeah, no.
Well, Nadine ends up being swept ahead of Kahlan in the tunnel, but she's able to grab onto a stepping stone to stop herself from just ending up who knows where.
What?
The torch, though, Jade, the torch is fine. So, big sigh of relief, everybody's cool.
I mean, super wonderful and lucky for everybody. I feel like the chances of that are exceedingly slim, because if I fucking got swept away in some waist-high fucking water and I was carrying a torch, ain't no way I'm grabbing a stepping stone and also keeping the torch. And I feel like I'm pretty adept at some shit, and Nadine is just Nadine.
I guess what it comes down to for me is because we go tubing every year in the river, and I always spend a good time just free floating down the river because I think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, there are points where it's over your head, and there's points where it's, knee deep. But if you get into the river there, and granted, this is a drainage tunnel of some kind. I have done some work on sewer tunnels, unfortunately, in my day, and they're big enough for you to easily walk inside, and the amount of water that they handle would be overwhelming if you were in it. Yes, maybe not that big. I didn't work on anything that big, but the pipe I was in was 10 foot in diameter. So you could easily walk in there, but if it's full and the water's moving, you're going to be swept.
Yeah.
There's nothing for you to hold on to.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. In the river, when we've gone tubing, there's been times when shit's gotten a little hairy.
Yeah.
I've lost my beer.
Yeah, the current will take you, and that has to be a factor in this, because I think that when Nadine fell, I could see her drop straight down because she lost her footing. She might not have. If she landed sideways, you have even less of a chance to save the torch.
Yeah.
But I feel like even if she did drop straight down, that's best case scenario, then the water carries you. It is very difficult for you to just maintain being straight up and down.
Especially with something flaming.
In a current like that. It's going to spin you sideways and move you. And if you can only use one hand, I guess is the thing, because the other one has to stay up. It's a very small percentage.
That's all I'm saying.
That would have worked. She got lucky as hell.
I've tried to carry beer and cigarettes and other flaming items down the river while I've upended my tube. Every once in a while, I'll keep something in my hand, but in order to get righted again, that shit's going down.
Something's gotta get wet. Yeah, gotta put your hand in the water at some point.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. I think probably because that was a very good reference that you made with the tubing.
Thank you.
Because, and
also I want to go tubing soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty adept. I can get in and out of my fucking tube, but ain't no way shit's gonna stay lit.
So, just, I love and hate this so much. Sorry. Just when Nadine, gets herself centered on something, she goes, I think I felt something down there.
Ew!
Oh! And Kahlan's like, nah, dude, it's probably just a rat. There's dead rats floating in the water. I've seen them before. It's nothing to worry about. Fucking Marlin emerges from the water and then pulls Nadine under it with him End of chapter.
So is this motherfucker just like holding on to the stepping stone under the water?
That's what I'm saying. How long was he there?
Yeah, because they were all there for a hot minute.
He had the whole slip
What?
situation. So, like, unless he saw them and ducked under the water, he was under the water the whole time, and the thing that she felt under the water was him.
Yeah.
Which means he's just like what's the movie you said, The Descent?
Yeah.
With the big going through the water. He was just hanging out down there.
Ugh.
Plus, I kind of picture him like the guy from the first Men in Black movie, the bug who's in a human body, so he can't quite move right because it's not really him in control.
Yeah.
Do you have sugar in water? You know? Like weird looking.
Yeah. Well,
Under the water, all creepy and ugh.
I don't know. I guess that begs the question, how far can Jagang push a body? Because, I mean, we know he could push it as far as pain goes, where, like, past where a normal person would be able to handle.
Yeah.
This person should have drowned, possibly, or not been, he's been under the water for a second there, so, I don't know.
I almost think that, and it might say otherwise in the books later. I really just don't remember right now.
If it's
but
dead, he couldn't do it, for
that's
sure.
what I was going to say. Like, he is in between your thoughts. But in order for that to happen, I feel like your brain has to be online.
Firing? Yeah.
Firing on at least one cylinder.
Yeah.
And if it's not even doing that, then I don't think there's anything for him to interfere with. I don't think he could do it to you if you were dead.
Right. So,
I mean, Marlin's missing an arm. You know what I'm saying?
So maybe we just aren't supposed to think too in depth about how long Marlin's been under that water.
Maybe not. Maybe, we're just supposed to
Accept
be
it.
okay with the fact that Jagang is
Was
just doing
hiding
it to
under
him.
the water.
And he's literally just a puppet.
Well, or like we're just supposed to accept that it was only like 30 seconds that he was under the water or some bullshit, even though to our, like, that was just like clearly a minute or so that these two were standing there.
Yeah. Okay, so I had to ask King Google. And turns out severing the radial artery can result in unconsciousness in as little as 30 seconds and death in as little as 2 minutes. The
What?
brachial artery runs along the inside of your arms. This artery is deep, but severing it will result in unconsciousness in as little as 15 seconds and death in as little as 90. So,
What?
So, by that, by the internets that I did not bother to source or do any of that, Marlin's already dead and has been for at least a few minutes, because I feel I know at least once in this chapter it was said that they walked for like 15, 20 minutes. So like he's dead, dude.
But like people have arms cut off and they don't die.
But I feel like they do something for the wound and get medical treatment
Very quickly.
Yeah. I don't think they run around in sewer water immediately after. That can't be good.
Probably not. And that's not to mention how long he was probably under that water, because that's the question. Yeah. Like, okay.
Well, he could have been under there the whole damn time, because apparently he's been dead for at least 13 minutes.
And he had already been bleeding
probably not,
a little
but
bit
like,
from like Kara's,
that's what I'm getting.
Kara's like beating up situation.
Yeah, maybe now Kara is relieved, because technically Marlin is dead.
Probably not, because he's apparently jumping out of fucking water.
He's a Zom Marlin.
Yeah. Zom.
Well, we can work on it.
Zom Ganglin.
Zom Ganglin?
No. Work on it, get back to you.
Some Ganglin style. However that song goes.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a callback, right?
Yeah.
That's an old reference.
Yes, it is, Dad. It is.
Well, that's fine. I just like my sweater. I'll go sit in my chair.
I like sweaters, too.
No, a cardigan. A cardigan.
No, sweaters are nice. I bought you a sweater for Scotland, and you wore it, and you loved it.
I do have a sweater. It's wonderful, and I do love it.
That's right.
And if you loved this episode and wanted to let us know, you can write an email to podcastatt@gmail.com, or you can find us on any of the social medias. We are there too. And if you really enjoyed this episode and wanted to help support this show, you can go to patreon.com/podcast.
ATT.
And you can make a pledge of any amount. Doesn't matter. We love you guys. And we will see you real soon.
Bye.